Well, what's happening, web slingers? Welcome to the D-Wizzle podcast channel. That's right, it is now the newly improved D-Wizzle podcast channel. My channel's mainly going to be consisting of podcasts from now on. Just talking about main franchises here and there, like Marvel and DC and Wizarding World. Anything you can name of, anything in the nerd geek culture, anything that hits our nostalgia, we'll be talking about it now in podcast form from now on, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys like what I do, don't forget to leave a like and please hit the subscribe button on the road to 50 subscribers. Hopefully we can hit that mark this year. I'm sure it's not that hard because I only have 48. I just need 2 more. I know there's 2 of you out there that like my videos, so please hit the bell when you can. But anyway, thank you as always for watching. This is episode 21 of the podcast, and today we're going back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For those of you who don't follow my channel, I did podcasts on all the Marvel films from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. I have a playlist on my channel called Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you guys want to check out any of the films we talked about in the MCU, go ahead, check that out on my channel. The last film we talked about was Avengers Endgame, so please check that out if you haven't already. But today we'll be talking about the second Spider-Man film of the MCU, Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, before we go any further, once again with Endgame, we have to emphasize this. It is a spoiler-filled discussion. If you have not seen the film, please don't watch this. There are some really big things that happen in this movie, to all of our surprises. So please, if you have not watched the movie, please watch it and then come back and watch this.
And Endgame.
And Endgame, yeah. You have to watch Endgame also if you haven't already. If you haven't seen Endgame by now, you're just not going to watch it. you're not going to get to it anytime soon. Probably wait till the Disney streaming service or something. But anyway, yeah, so this is spoiler-filled discussion. You have been warned. So if you guys don't care about spoilers, go ahead and watch on. But anyway, joining with me today, I have Nick.
You know Good Burger is now 22 years old?
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
I don't like Good Burger. I don't like it.
You're terrible. You are terrible, and you are the problem.
No, you are the problem, liking this lowest common denominator crap. Anyway, we have fellow YouTuber Ruby Groovy.
I was gonna say, I prefer Burger King, to be honest, and also I never really had good burgers, so there's that going for you.
And then we have Captain Eagle.
Good to be back.
Awesome. So, let's not waste any more time, because we got so much to say about this movie. So much. So, without further ado, we're going to hit you with this trailer, and then we'll get back to you on our spoiler-filled discussion on Spider-Man Far From Home.
Whoosh!
You look really pretty.
Therefore, I have value.
No, that's not
I'm
right.
messing with you. You look pretty too.
I just want to spend some time with MJ. I think she really likes me, dude.
That reminds me when I first fell in love. I had just finished my film called.
So nice to finally meet you, Spider-Man.
You're Nick Fury.
Put some clothes on. Let's go for a ride.
Is he gonna be okay like that?
Might want to turn him over so he doesn't swallow his tongue.
I think Nick Fury just hijacked our summer vacation.
Awesome!
You got gifts, Parker, but you have a job to do. Are you going to step up or not?
You're all alone. Your friends are in trouble. What are you going to do about it?
You don't want any part of this.
Who is that guy?
He's like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. Sup, dickwad?
Spider-Man: Far From Home. This movie was released July 5th? Second. Close enough. It's in July. Anyway, yeah, so this movie was released July 2nd of this year, 2019. This is the 22nd? 23rd. You see how much I'm prepared for this. Don't blame me, because I couldn't prepare that much, because, like, fun fact, I had lost power at my house for a few days, so I didn't really have time to, like, research or anything. So I'm going off of, brain memory, really. But anyway, yeah, so this is the 23rd film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the follow-up to Spider-Man Homecoming that came out a couple years ago, and then this is also a follow-up to Avengers Endgame. So I guess we could start with Endgame first. So we saw Endgame this past April, and it blew our freaking minds. Like, it is one of the best Marvel films ever made, and it's like one of the greatest comic book films I've ever seen. It's just surpassed all my expectations. I know there's haters out there being like, oh, there's some stuff that don't make sense with the timeline, and the first half is slower than the second half, blah blah blah. That's not how I feel. I think everything in that movie worked. I thought the pacing was great. It was a 3-hour film, and it felt so short. Like, I just thought everything was great, from the characters to, just the good moments and the action sequences. Like, everything was just great, and once again made me cry. So yeah, so much happening. All the Avengers characters working together, fighting against Thanos and his army, like one of the best comic book moments I've ever seen. So great. And then, of course, the biggest tearjerker of the movie, Iron Man dying at the end, sacrificing himself to save the world, snapping everyone back to existence. That was a massive tearjerker for me, and I'm sure for everyone else. That was just very impactful. Like, Iron Man was the staple of this franchise. It all started with him, and just to have the overall Infinity Saga end off with him, like, I just thought that was just perfect poetry. And I think a lot of people would say, like, if Endgame was the last MCU film they've ever made, I think most of us will be really satisfied, because it was a great conclusion. However, Marvel's owned by Disney, so of course nothing ends at Disney. Nothing ends. So of course they're going to keep going after this. I was kind of a bit upset about that. At least give us like a break or something. I don't think we need a movie like couple months after Endgame. I need time to breathe. Like, this is exactly how I felt after Infinity War. Like, I wasn't ready for Ant-Man and the Wasp after that. I needed a break, like at least like a year, so we can just take everything in or something.
No you don't. Here you go. 3 months later,
you're like, oh my gosh. Though part of me didn't want it to exactly end just yet, because Disney's just getting the rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men, and I want to see them in the MCU, so it's not like I necessarily want to end there, but it's just like, give us like at least a year or two break. It's like, it's just a little too much. I wasn't ready for a Spider-Man movie after this. Like, remember in Ruby and our Ant-Man and the Wasp podcast, it just felt like we went from this massive epic like film with Infinity War, and then a couple months later Ant-Man and the Wasp. So it just like kind of felt like, really, we're going from that to Ant-Man
comic relief,
like
in the middle,
like very emotional, tearjerker, dark, and then we get to fun comic book Saturday morning cartoon. So I'm like, okay, fine, sure. And then this another thing I was irritated about is that, like, why don't they make like the epic films the last movie in the phase? They did this in phase 2, where it's like Age of Ultron's not the end of phase 2, Ant-Man is. I'm like, why? Like, that's a weird way to end it. And then in Infinity War, it's like, oh, Infinity War's not the end of that. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp. Wait, Infinity War and Endgame and everything's still in phase 3, right? It's all in phase 3.
Yep, Spider-Man's the end of phase 3.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man's end is phase 3.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I'm like, why is Spider-Man the last movie in phase 3? Why couldn't that be the beginning of phase 4? Like, do you really need this after Endgame? But anyway, just see what happens. I do want to see more from Tom Holland's Spider-Man because I really enjoyed him up until this point. He was one of the highlights in Civil War, and I really enjoyed Homecoming. It's like probably my second or third favorite Spider-Man film. Thought it was a really good job with that. So of course I'm excited to see what else Tom Holland was going to do. So I think he's probably my favorite Spider-Man right now, even though Tobey Maguire holds a special place in my heart always. But anyway, on the Spider-Man side, while they're trying to get, another movie out there in the MCU, Sony, of course, couldn't just sit back and just do nothing. They're like, you know what? Tom Holland's Spider-Man successful. Let's make a Spider-Verse over here on the Sony side. And I'm like, really, guys? Really? Can't you just do this one Spider-Man film, this one Tom Holland thing? Don't worry about making a Spider-Man universe on your side. This is unnecessary. Why? You're going through the same crap that you dealt with the Tobey Maguire movies and then the Andrew Garfield movies, and now this. Do you learn anything? Like, I don't understand. But anyway, the stuff that they released so far, like Venom, I wasn't really excited about Venom. I thought, why are you doing a Venom movie without Spider-Man? But I did end up liking Venom. I thought it was a solid movie. And then later on in the year, we had Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I thought that movie was awesome. Even though the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie holds a special place in my heart still, I think I could say like Into the Spider-Verse is probably the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. It just really encapsulated what Spider-Man was supposed to be. It understood the character, and it's like had many different varieties of Spider-Man in the multiverse and other stuff like that. I just thought it was really good, and finally bringing Miles Morales to the big screen, I just thought that was amazing. So after Spider-Verse, I'm like, I don't even know, do I even want to see a Tom Holland movie? Because I don't think it's going to be as good as Into the Spider-Verse, really. Like, I honestly don't think we even need it at this point because Spider-Verse was just so good to me. But anyway, I was still looking forward to it. There's a bunch of rumors going around with this movie, as it is with all the other MCU movies, that Mysterio was going to be the villain of Far From Home, and I was really excited about that because Mysterio is actually one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, and I've waited so long for them to do Mysterio because it was always Goblin, Venom, repeat, and I got sick of that.
Yeah,
so,
it's finally something new. I've been waiting for Mysterio too.
Yeah,
I know about Spider-Man and his villains more than the other ones because I grew up with Spider-Man more.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing about Mysterio, I was freaking out too.
Yeah, I thought Vulture in Homecoming was really good. I was waiting for him to be in the movie, and they did him well, played by Michael Keaton. I was like, great. So the rumors going around that Mysterio was going to be played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and I was like, perfect. I think he would be great Mysterio. And then there was this whole theory about Spider-Man introducing multiverse in the MCU, and I was like, no, not now, no. I never liked Marvel trying to do multiverse stuff. This is DC stuff. Like, this is not something that Marvel should be doing. Like, I don't think they're ready for that really, because like the timelines, like, I don't know. Like, they got away with it in Endgame with the different timelines and stuff like that, but I was just worried that they were just going to take it out of proportion, really. I don't know if I could trust them with that, but we'll just see how it goes, I guess. And then the first trailer we got, it looked really good, actually. So it definitely confirmed that Jake Gyllenhaal was going to be Mysterio. And then not only that, we had the Elementals in this movie. And I'm like, what? Seriously? The Mysterio and the Elementals? Like, how is this going to work? And then apparently Mysterio is a good guy, and he actually has superpowers. For those of you who know the Spider-Man comic books, Mysterio doesn't actually have powers. He has the ability of illusion and stuff like that, but it's like, it looks like they're actually giving him powers, and he's going to be like a hero or anti-hero and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting, helping Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like, wow, interesting. But then other people, and including Nick, brought this to my attention, being like, what if this was all a trick? with Mysterio? What if he's pretending to be a good guy and he doesn't actually have powers and the elementals are a lie? I actually didn't think about that until he brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, that's something Mysterio would do. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does turn at the end. But I was still accepting. But I was still interested in what they would do if they did make him an anti-hero from another multiverse. That's actually still interesting, you know. But yeah, I was just waiting to see what would happen with the movie. Oh, and also another thing with the his red and black suit. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like it just looks too. It looks too shieldy. It's kind of a weird way to say it, but it's like it looked too stealthy for me, and I didn't like the black on it, and you know, because I like Spider-Man with his popping colors, red and blue.
You're talking about the suit he had at the beginning of the film?
No, the suit they had at the end. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like because it was giving me bad flashes of Amazing Spider-Man when they were trying to make it more dark and stuff like that, and I didn't like that. I'm just like, why are you trying to make him look darker? He's Spider-Man. He's supposed to have red and blue. So maybe I'm just a traditionalist, but I'm just like, I just prefer his other suit more. But I did.
What about Superior Spider-Man?
I fuck Superior Spider-Man. I hate that comic book line. Y'all can say what you want in the comic books. I mean in the comments. I never liked that storyline. I never did.
What about Miles? His suit is black and red.
Well, his suit look cooler than what Spider-Man's was. It's just like replacing the red with the blue, and then his logo in the back is smaller and it's white. I'm like, really, guys? Like, no, I'm not liking it. I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry, but they did have that like stealth suit that looked like the noir suit from the comic books that I liked. So I was interested in seeing him in that. And then adding more relationship between MJ and Peter, I thought, okay, this looks like a pretty decent time. So, anyway, I saw this, I think I saw this opening weekend. If not, I saw it the week after it came out. And, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't love this movie. I was a bit let down in places. It's not a bad movie at all. I still think this is a good Spider-Man movie, but honestly, I like Homecoming more. There was just some things with the story and the characters that I felt wasn't fulfilling to me. Like coming off of Homecoming and Endgame, I just felt there was certain stuff that I wasn't really satisfied with, and there's some stuff about the story that felt a little bloated and unnecessary. But I did have a good time with the movie. Like, I'll watch it again. It's definitely one of the better Spider-Man movies that came out, but you know, I didn't walk away blown away. But that's how I feel about it. Cap, what did you think about Spider-Man Far From Home?
I thought it was really good. It was a solid movie. Definitely one of the better Spider-Mans, like you said. It was definitely some twists in there that took me, you know, for a loop, and I wasn't expecting it. Mm-hmm. So the movie turned out different than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But I liked it. I thought it was really enjoyable, and it was something new, and it was different, like you said. Mm-hmm. Like Mysterio, just his character and what they did with him, really just freshened it up. And he was just a really great character. He was the best part of the movie for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think for that reason, I enjoyed this movie more than Homecoming.
All right, Ruby, what did you think about Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yeah, I wasn't huge about like this movie coming out, but when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, I could see this as like a solid entry in the MCU. But yeah, Mysterio was definitely a staple in the film. I thought the relationship building between Peter and MJ was better and more developed than Peter and who was that? Who was his love interest in Homecoming?
Oh,
Liz.
Liz, yeah.
Liz, yeah. I just did not buy into that relationship building at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Compared to Far From Home, I would much rather prefer MJ over Liz. But yeah, I'm kind of on the side that says I like Far From Home over Homecoming, even though there were points in the film where I kind of question myself, going, okay, why is this thing necessary? But then I kind of look back on Homecoming, and I just kind of felt like I had the same reaction to it on that as well. So, you know, that's how I feel.
All right, Nick, what did you think about Spider-Man Far From Home?
I fucking loved it. I loved it. Pretty much, we already got Tom Holland, who was fantastic. We pretty much got all of the... Excuse me, I'm dying. I don't know what had to happen. But we got more of Ned and everybody, who, they're just fantastic. Plus, J.D. Smooth. Who I love me some J.D. Smooth.
He's alright.
Oh, he's fantastic. Plus, they actually made Mysterio work in live action, and it's amazing that they've been trying to do him since Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
And not only that, we got Jake Gyllenhaal, who's been trying hell and high water to be in a Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 1. And not only that, he nails it out the park. What? Excuse me? Not only that, the mid and post-credit scenes were spectacular, pun fully attended.
Yeah.
But just first appearances, I love it, and there's more I'm talking about in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm the only one who wasn't raving about this. Like I said, it's like there are things I definitely agree with you guys on. I think Mysterio was definitely my favorite part of the movie. He definitely exceeded my expectations with Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal I thought was great. Like literally, like when he came on screen, that's when the movie got better for me. Like the first half, maybe not first half, but maybe like the first quarter of this movie, I was feeling alright about it. It was alright about it. Like it started great with Nick and what's her name? Shoot.
Maria.
With Nick and Maria going to the abandoned place and meeting Mysterio, fighting the elementals. That was a great introduction, and then it starts with the Marvel logo, and then it's the Whitney Houston song.
Oh, I loved that so much.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is interesting, and then it reveals it's at school, and it's like a remembrance video that the high schoolers made, and it's like in memory of Tony and Cap and everyone, but mainly Tony. So I was like, okay, that sounds
in Comic Sans.
Yeah.
In Comic Sans. I was dying.
Yeah.
During that.
I'll admit that is pretty clever. However, that's one of my things I wasn't so hot about, at least with the first half of the movie. I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority on this, but it's just like after Endgame, I'm just expecting more. I'm expecting more emotional weight with the movies that come right after this, like feeling the ramifications. Like they address it in this movie, but I felt like it was leaning too much on the comedic stuff. Like after that point, it was just a ha-ha fest. Like after that, like you get some glimmers here and there of, when Peter's like up on the building and sees like a painting of Iron Man, whatever. Okay, that's nice, but I wanted more. It's like, it's almost like they address it. It's almost like they forgot that Endgame happened. Like half the universe was disappearing.
I have to disagree. I have to disagree from that. It's like death in real life. Yes, death is sad, but at some point you gotta move on. And some people aren't like superheroes. Obviously, they're not gonna be moping and moping. They're gonna move on. Like the teacher like the scene with Peter and the teacher. I thought that was really good. That was a pretty good, a little funny, dark scene.
Yeah.
About
yeah. It was okay. The teacher got on my nerves after a while.
Oh my gosh, that teacher was fucking annoying.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like, JB Smoove is better, but even then, I didn't care for him in this
movie
movie
great either.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's that's the type of stuff I'm dealing with comic relief. Like, there's too much, and it's like, it's not as bad as the older movies, but it's like
wasn't as bad as Thor Ragnarok.
No, it's definitely not as bad as that. But it's just like. It's almost like they're pulling the rug under you when it's like you felt this emotional weight from Endgame, and then in this movie, like, keep in mind this doesn't take place too far away from Endgame. This is literally like days or
8 months.
8 months.
8 months after Endgame.
Why does it not feel like 8 months?
So it's straight after Endgame.
Yeah, so it's just like, I'm not expecting the entire movie to be a sad fest. No, but it's just like the first quarter of the movie just be a little more serious, and then if you want to get funny, you can do it a little bit later in the film. But I just felt like there wasn't enough closure for me. And then another
That, and also remember, they're high schoolers, so they're Gen Z high schoolers, so they're not going to take a lot seriously.
Yeah, it's another thing that irritates me. I hate teenagers, man. But anyway.
Oh, Dwayne, you're coming in old man now.
Well, we're old men. But anyway, well, this is why I'm like, I'm not going to hark on it too much, because like this type of stuff I can give the benefit of the doubt, because the Spider-Man movie, it's more of a lighthearted film, so it's like this is not something that I would like as much in a Captain America or Black Panther or Thor or stuff like that. But this is Spider-Man, so it's like more a funny movie, more lighthearted, so I can give it the benefit of the doubt. But I just want a little bit more closure. And speaking of that, remember at the end of Homecoming when Aunt May finds out that Peter's Spider-Man, and she's all like, "What the fuck?" And then so this movie, like, I was hoping they would address that, but they don't. She's just okay with it. What?
Remember, after the little fundraiser, they were talking about, like, they don't need like so you're Spider-Man. Yeah, like, no, it's Spider-Man. It's okay. Like, I love that. Like, we don't need the old, I'm hiding my secret identity, I gotta hide it from everyone. That's tiresome.
I mean,
so that's
what'd you say?
No, I was gonna say, like, that felt a little rinse and repeat. She knows he's Spider-Man. It's like, she's not gonna be, no, don't be Spider-Man anymore. I don't want you to be Spider-Man. It's like, okay, we got all the other superheroes, so I know you're safe.
Okay, well, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. I'm cool if Aunt May knows his secret, but here's the thing. I'm just expecting more consistency, because at the tail end of Homecoming, she's like, "What the fuck?" She's like angry about it or something. So it's just like, I just want to have a quick conversation of her being just a little bit upset about it, and then Peter explaining why he has to do what he does, and then Aunt May will slowly be okay with that. Now, I know that's probably impossible at this point, because there was a time jump between Homecoming and this movie, so I don't think they will be able to do that necessarily, but it's just like, that's just another thing with the timeline of these movies. It's just like they're skipping stuff that I just want to see the in-between stuff, you know? So it's just, that's just a thing with me. I know people don't have to agree with that, but it's just like, I just want more emotional stuff, because like, keep in mind, I've seen the other Spider-Man movies, and it's like, there's like I guess this is just a bias towards me. It's like, in the other Spider-Man movies, while they did have the lighthearted funny stuff, they balanced it more with the more emotional, like, weight of the movie. It's like with the Tobey Maguire movies, like, yeah, that's like the campiest ones we've got, but at the same time, it had some emotional, dark moments, and it balanced that really well. So it's like, when he got to be Spider-Man and fun like that, you felt like it was like earned more because he understood the hardships of, Uncle Ben and responsibility and, trying to deal with his personal life or whatever. So it's like there's a balance instead of just him feeling like a goofy character. That type of stuff keeps Spider-Man from going into Deadpool territory because there is that balance of emotional weight. So that's just for me personally. And then that's another thing I want to talk about though. It's like I don't know how I felt about. I mean, I saw this in the trailer and I'm watching the movie. I still don't know how to feel about this. Would Spider-Man leave his suit behind to go on vacation? Is that something he would do?
I feel like after, all the shit that just happened in Endgame, and him, just saving the world and coming back to life,
I was just gonna
say,
that
weight just finally coming off of his shoulders, it was resolved. I bet, he would just want to be a teenager and take a break and just be like, oh man, I just want to put down this responsibility for a little bit and enjoy my vacation. So watching it in the context of the movie, I did buy it.
Okay.
Especially after Tony Stark had just died in Endgame, and Peter has always looked up to Tony Stark as like his icon, and now he's gone. He just kind of feels like, I don't want to have to deal with all of this superhero stuff with Tony on my mind. I just want to go out and just have a good time with my friends.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you guys are saying. But yeah, not to harken too much on the negatives. But I did like some of the stuff with school and with Peter and Ned. I liked to see more of that because that was some of my favorite moments in Homecoming. Just seeing him interact with his classmates and his friends. That's one of the stuff that I felt was missing from the other Spider-Man movies. We didn't see him enough in high school. Being a teenager. So I definitely appreciated more of that.
Well, that also with most of the other movies, they don't make him an underclassman. The Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi, was pretty much a senior. He was pretty much a senior in high school. Literally, he graduated in the same movie. Same with, Amazing Spider-Man 1, he was like a junior. Amazing Spider-Man 2, literally, he's graduating. Pretty much when they show him in high school, he's already pretty much an adult. He's already pretty much a senior and upperclassman. This time they're actually showing him, as an underclassman going through high school, because we forget he was 15 when he was bitten by the spider. He was pretty much a freshman, sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
He was straight up a kid when he got bit.
So yeah, definitely appreciate seeing that side of Spider-Man. And then I think MJ is a better character in this movie. I thought she was fine in Homecoming, but still there was that disconnect with her just trying to be too cool for school or whatever, and just throwing shade at Peter and Ned. But it's I felt a little bit more vulnerability with her.
She's still doing that in this movie, though, to the point. There are a couple of times where I'm like, why are you interested in this bitch? She's kind of just being weird.
But, oh no, it's fantastic.
But then there were times where she was better. I don't know.
Plus, she gives a reason for it, too. It's not just because, I'm doing it just to do that.
Yeah, so, they gave a little bit of reason why she is the way she is, so it's I'm okay with it. I mean, like I said, in the comic books, Gwen was never my go-to, Mary Jane was never my go-to, I want Black Cat, that's all I want. That's all I want. And I gotta wait till he gets older, but it's that's my favorite love interest from Spider-Man. But this MJ, I think is fine, and I will take this one over Kirsten Dunst any day. I hate her MJ so much. I hate it.
What about the love triangle in this movie?
Oh, with
that new asshole guy, whatever his name is.
Brad.
Yeah. So
the new FBI, the new Asian FBI agent from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. So, he's one of the few people that didn't get snapped, so he's older than he was in Homecoming, correct?
Yeah.
Pretty much. No, he wasn't in Homecoming.
I thought he was. Wasn't he that
I don't think he was in Homecoming. I think he's just, he's new to this. He's new to the story. Pretty much, they show his image during the montage, during the school news broadcast about people who grew up after the 5 years, and showing, people in 5 years changed. while those who snapped stayed exactly how they were when they snapped.
Oh yeah, after the blip.
The blip.
The blip.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
High school.
What the
Why
fuck
is it
is
called
that?
the blip? What is that? Like,
I
seriously?
mean, they're high schoolers. What do you think they're gonna call it? The decimation?
Everyone else, you see adults in that movie calling it the blip. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
that made it even more
Really?
silly. The adults are calling it the blip. I'm like,
Well,
what?
there's a little blip in your life. You're out, then you're back in.
Oh,
Exactly, that's what it is, a blip.
okay, fine.
That was a really bad payoff.
And it's like I would have liked it to be called the decimation or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm just
That sounds so edgelordy. I don't. That sounds so edgelordy.
yeah, I guess I'm
Better than blip.
blip. I'm just a dark soul.
Yeah, so it fucked up everyone's ages. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so it's like because of that, like some high schoolers had to repeat their grade because not everyone was able to finish, I guess, because like half the people got snapped away. So interesting that the ramifications affect
half of
that.
them are 5 years older, half of them are the same age. And
Yeah. So that's really messed up, though. We had to repeat a grade because of that. Like,
Yeah, I wonder how that feels.
moving on.
so all of Peter's friends also got blipped.
Not everyone. Like, I think Ned, Peter, and MJ definitely got snapped away.
And so did Flash.
Flash, yes, Flash did too. So I guess the majority of them.
How convenient that they're all the.
I mean, no, you're right. MCU does some really convenient stuff like that. So it's whatever at this point. So did like them going off to what was that? Where did they go?
They went to different places.
They went to first was Italy.
Italy.
Yeah, one place they went to was Italy. I know at the end of the film they went to London.
Yeah, so they ended up in like 3 to 4 different places. So it's like I did like the different, going to the different places. This is like different for a Spider-Man movie because it's normally New York centric, but it's like it's a unique thing with Spider-Man movies going outside of the country. So it's like, yeah, I did think that was unique.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was really crappy. They get like the crappiest like hotel rooms or whatever, and it's like, oh man. It's
until Nick Fury started interfering.
Oh yeah, Nick Fury. They're like, yeah, here you go, got a nicer bus or whatever.
Oh no! Speaking of, since we're talking now about Italy, something a lot of people took notice is when Peter is looking for the Black Dahlia necklace. If you look to Peter's left, there's an individual wearing a green shirt and a baseball cap. A certain mysterious individual.
Mysterious.
That's his first appearance before Hydro Man shows up.
Right. So apparently that is Hydro Man. I thought it was something.
Oh no,
different.
no, it's not Hydro Man.
Really? Because it said on the Funko Pop it was Hydro Man.
We all thought they were the Elementals, but they're not the real Elementals because I did some digging when after the incident in Italy, when Flash is looking up people, they actually name drop the real Hydro Man. They actually, while Hydro Man is technically not in the film, Flash is researching the aquatic terror and brings up an article regarding science experiments done on a sailor named Morris Bench.
Interesting.
So I think they only did that because it's better than saying water elemental, wind elemental, fire elemental.
Okay, so it would that kind of confused me because I saw like the Funko Pop names for them and it had Molten Man and Hydro Man. It's like, oh, I guess that's Hydro Man or a different version of Hydro Man, but I guess not. That's fine. But yeah, anyway, talking about the elementals, I thought that the whatever kind of elementals we got, I thought that was pretty cool. I liked the designs of all of them. Looked very menacing, stuff like that. And I thought the set pieces for them were done pretty well. Yeah, don't have too much to say about them because like they do play a part, but it's not like too much to them really. This is a good talk about Nick Fury and Maria. I thought they were pretty good in the movie.
I'm going to save my thoughts much later.
Yeah, it's like we all have our certain thoughts about those two. But anyway, Nick kind of got on my nerves a little bit in a couple of scenes. Like, I just didn't like how much he was like pushing Peter around or whatever. It just kind of got on my skin a little bit. But I do get why he's like that because like Spider-Man's like the only person he can go to fight off these elementals because all the other Avengers coincidentally have other things going on. I'm like, really? Like nobody else? And then he's naming off everybody. It's like Thor, off-world. Captain Marvel, not available. Of course you can't count Captain Marvel except whatever. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Wait, no, Dwayne. He didn't say that.
What did he say?
He said Peter was like Captain Marvel, and Peter was like, don't invoke her name.
Don't invoke her
name. That was in the trailers.
What's that supposed?
The other plan was in the trailers.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? Don't invoke her name. What do you?
Well, then it was saved for later.
Okay, whatever. But it's just like it does feel like another coincidence that like no other Avengers could help with that at all. Like none at all had to deal with Spider-Man. I mean, I guess it's like it doesn't have much choice, I guess, but I would at least think that Nick would be a little bit more understanding towards Peter's life, and he gets it, but he just doesn't give a shit. So it's like it was fine, I guess. There was a couple of funny moments with Nick and Peter, like we saw in the trailer when he shoots Ned with a dart or whatever, and then Nick's trying to tell Peter what's going on, and then people keep knocking on the door and interrupting.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Like that was pretty funny. Like if another person opened this door. I forgot exactly what he said, but yeah, I just thought that was funny. But thank God Aunt May packed a Spider-Man suit without him knowing. Man, he would have been in a lot of crap if he didn't. But so that's when they meet Quentin Beck from a different world. What Earth was he from?
Okay, didn't they say Earth? Didn't they say 616, or was that this universe?
This is this universe.
I can't remember what they said.
Yeah.
I think they did. I think they said something like 616 or 606 or something.
606. Yeah, I think that's also a callback from the comic books because when they.
Yeah, that's the Prime Marvel universe.
Right. So I thought that was a nice little nod there, and we get introduced to Jake Gyllenhaal as Quentin Beck, and I thought all that stuff was really good. The chemistry between Peter and Quentin I thought were really good. It's probably one of my favorite moments in the movie outside of MJ and Peter. But yeah, Jake's already like a great actor, so it's like I think he would fit perfectly for this type of role. Again, they're still like up until that point they're still going with the fact that Mysterio has powers from a different multiverse, so I guess like if we're playing by that logic, like I guess our Mysterio wouldn't have abilities, but in his world he does. So I thought, okay, interesting. So that would explain why he has powers in quotation marks. We'll talk about the twist later. But
I know I'm saving everything for later.
Right, but still, I thought he was really good. I will admit, like the first couple scenes he was in, it felt like he wasn't fully there. But the more he talked to Peter, more he started to get more into it. I think that's probably he's just playing off a character. So it's like, because like later on in the film, he gets more into the role. So I think he's just playing a facade, being like, yeah, I'm the straight man. Straight stereo and not all that jokey stuff yet. But yeah, still thought it was great. I like his suit. His suit looks awesome.
The suit is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like
that's a nice suit.
Gorgeous.
Very, very nice. And they kept the fishbowl. They didn't They didn't try to modernize it or anything. They kept the traditional comic book fishbowl, and I loved it. And it didn't look stupid either. It looked great. it looked awesome. I loved it.
Especially later for the best scene in the whole movie.
Exactly. And then I like the effects with the green mist and his rays, and I thought that looked cool. And then like the cloud that he flies on, or I think sometimes he flies, sometimes he's on a green mist cloud, whatever.
Oh, and speaking of that, the color acid green has long been used in movies to indicate villainy. Like take Scar in the animated Lion King. Look at most of the fire and be prepared. It's a light green, which is probably due to the color being used as arsenic for dyeing in the 19th century. So, and notice most of Mysterio's powers are green.
And do notice that half of Spider-Man's villains are green. The Green Goblin, Lizard, Scorpion, Vulture. Like a lot of green. Mysterio. A lot of green villains. So, definitely nice little comic there. What?
Dwayne.
Yeah.
So remember how we were talking about the elementals don't have names?
Yeah.
They do have names.
Okay.
So we'll go. Pretty much, fire is Hellfire. Water is Hydron. Earth is Magnum. And wind is Zephyr. That's confirmed by Kevin Feige himself.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, one thing I would say, the action set pieces I thought were much better than they were in Homecoming. There's just a lot more to it, and I think with them being in a different country, they were able to play with different environments more. And the stuff with the elementals, that's a different type of enemy that Spider-Man normally faces. So it's like I thought it was really good. I would say, do you guys think this is like the best swinging and agileness we've seen from Spider-Man?
I think I would. Comparing it to past movies, I'd say yeah. Like I felt. I also have a slight bias because I was in D-box seats when we saw it, so I have a slight bias because it actually felt like I was swinging. But I would say yeah. His actual swinging is a lot better than it was in Homecoming, which makes sense because Homecoming, he was mostly out in the suburbs. There's not much to swing in the suburbs. He has a lot more where to swing around in this movie, and it was fantastic. I felt that this is the best, with only a slight ahead to Spider-Man 2. I felt Spider-Man 2 wasn't really about swinging. That was more a character piece of Peter Parker. This one is more action swinging, flipping about.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. Going back, we talked about this earlier. His stealth suit that looked a lot like his noir suit from the comic books. Really liked that. And then they kept calling him Night Monkey because they didn't want the Spider-Mans in that country. So I was like, that was pretty funny. And then I liked the scene at the carnival. I thought that was really good. With Mysterio helping out, that was really good. We all knew that he's not going to sacrifice himself like that real quick. And he'll be alive or whatever, and he was. But I still thought it was still a pretty gripping scene though, because even though in the back of my head I knew something might be up with Mysterio, Jake convinced me that he could possibly be a good guy, because that's how good the chemistry was with Peter. So
I was on board with him being a good guy. I totally thought he was, and I was just wondering what was going to happen at a later point to make him turn.
Right.
I was totally convinced that he was good.
Yeah. There's these glasses that apparently Tony left over for him that has another AI on it. It's called
Edith.
Oh yeah, Edith.
What does it stand for?
Even dead, I'm the hero.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty creative. Fun fact: that's the name of my grandmother. Hello, Granny, if you're watching this. Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. Though there was some silly moments with it, the guy that, okay, first of all, this was kind of weird scene. Like, remember when I forgot what country they went to, but there was like this
Prague.
shield, Prague. There was this blonde shield agent waiting for him to get, I guess, a new suit or whatever, and she told him to strip there, and then the guy walks in while he's stripping by the girl, and I'm like, and then God, he's all like, "Oh, you trying to hook up with these older women, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell MJ. I'm going to take a picture of him." I'm like, are you serious?
That whole sequence was so dumb. And then he's trying to get the picture deleted and accidentally sends missiles to blow him up.
Yeah, I'm like, really, man? I'm like, why?
Oh my gosh.
Even I will admit that I could see that joke coming a mile. And I love this movie. I was like, that was kind of a little meh, you know.
They could have cut that whole part out.
Yeah, they could have cut that whole thing out. Like, that wasn't necessary. And then even with all that stuff with the drama with MJ, I'm so glad they didn't get caught up in the misunderstanding bullshit.
Oh, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to happen.
No,
like, MJ's gonna be mad at him for no reason, blah, 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 blah. Because that's the stupid crap they did in the Tobey Maguire movies and in the Andrew Garfield movies. I couldn't stand it. I hated it. Like, come on, because we know you guys are gonna get back together. You are like arguing over petty crap. Like, I just hated that in the other movies, so I'm glad they didn't do it in this movie. I probably wouldn't have liked MJ as much if she did that. But yeah, she's actually smart. Anyway, let's see. I guess after the fight in the carnival, I guess Peter gets in an argument with Nick, being like, Peter's not fully in this or whatever, and like, we need you to be fully committed, or like, you're not living up to, Iron Man's legacy or whatever. And he gets upset about it, and then Peter and Quentin have a talk about that, and then Peter thinks, since Mysterio has been handling the elementals really good up until this point, he's all like, maybe I should give the glass to you because you seem more responsible than I am with these glasses. I don't feel like I'm living up to Iron Man's legacy, but you are. So he willingly gives the glasses to Mysterio, and I'm like, that's not going to end well, is it? And literally right when Peter leaves, that's when his plan unfolds. And yes, Mysterio is actually a bad guy.
Yeah, Dwayne, you gotta pick up that phone, Dwayne.
Say what?
You gotta pick up your phone, Dwayne. Wanna know why?
Because you called it.
Because I called it, and I was literally, a big old smile was on my face. I was like, oh yes, there we go. Now the movie has begun.
Mm-hmm. At that point, that's when Jake Gyllenhaal unleashed.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was like,
I don't fully understand his plan though, guys. How did he know that Peter was going to give him the glasses? Like, how could he have been so sure?
Yeah, and how did he know
Pretty
about
much
the
because
glasses?
Nick, he knows about the glasses because of Stark Industries. But also, I don't fully understand his plan. Obviously, he wants to create a hoax situation and take the credit for it. But what's
pretty much like Syndrome.
But what's his end game? Like, what's he trying to accomplish here?
Money.
Obviously, he's trying to get credibility,
fame, and glory.
But like, what exactly is he going to try and do with that? With that
money. He doesn't want to take over the world. He just wants money because remember, he pretty much got the shaft by Tony Stark. He doesn't want to rule the world or anything. He just wants to be rich and famous.
Yeah, because okay, so the callbacks from the other movies. I mean, of course, it's like that type of stuff. Because they have the callbacks to Civil War when Tony had that TED Talk with the holograms. Apparently, that was Quentin's technology, but
and he was standing backstage the whole time.
I mean, yeah. And then he wouldn't give Quentin the credibility or the funds or whatever. So revenge.
Well, no, he discredited Barf, the system.
Yeah, and then I guess it also tied in with this tied way back to the first Iron Man movie. That one scientist that was being yelled at by by
Obadiah.
Obadiah's like, Tony Stark was in the cave.
Hey, with a bunch of scraps.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm not Tony Stark. So apparently he's connecting with that too.
Which I loved.
I mean, yeah, that was a good callback, but it's like, what is his connection with Quentin though? Like,
pretty much they probably met between Civil War. And it was like, hey, you were snubbed by Tony Stark too. Did we just become best friends?
Or they were already friends.
probably.
Just both being at Stark Industries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I could accept that because, this is not the first time that, Tony's wronged people and people want revenge.
Yeah, didn't he learn in Iron Man 2?
Yeah, apparently not.
Yeah, I love this twist for Beck. I love it so much because I honestly had a I had a feeling in the back of my head that they weren't going to do the old stunt man was wronged and then he becomes, smoke and mirrors. I was like, okay, how are they going to tie this into a universe with Tony Stark? And when they said he was a former Stark employee that was wronged, I was like, okay, now I can fully buy this. Instead of, a stunt man who just happens to get, special effects work. Which
Yeah, I definitely thought that was a clever way to utilize him in the MCU. Have him tie in with other characters, so it was good.
And plus, was I the only one who thought that entire scene felt like an Ocean's 11 scene?
Yeah,
from the Ocean series?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it was
just
fantastic.
with them planning and this is what you do here and this is what you do there. It's like
that they do that in those movies?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
I was going to say, I wouldn't know because I never saw any of the Ocean's movies.
I would say 11 and 12 are good. You don't have to watch 13 or 8. So
I'm sorry, what number?
I mean, watch all of them. See what you like. Don't follow anyone else's opinion. Watch them. See if you like them. If you don't, you don't.
I mean, they're fine. They're cool heist movies, I guess. But anyway, so apparently the Elementals this whole time were hologram projections to make Mysterio look good when they're fighting them, and they're projected by these these drones that they have with lasers and stuff like that, and it's created by by a team that Mysterio brought together, and then they did photo projections of his suit and making his flying effects and stuff like that and his rays. So I thought, okay, all that was really clever. Really liked how they did it there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, here's some the trippy stuff. When Spider-Man goes to warn Nick and Maria about Mysterio, apparently that wasn't actually Nick and Maria. It was Mysterio. He created this.
Finally here?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk
The
about
best part of the fucking movie.
That whole scene was awesome.
That was amazing.
Best scene in the whole movie.
Yes, that's literally straight out of the comic books with Mysterio just making all these trippy environments and Spider-Man trying to fight it, but it's he doesn't know what's real and what's not, and then just Mysterio getting in his head and creating all these weird stuff. That was awesome.
And then he put the knife and he dug the knife straight into Peter with just one sentence. If you really were that good, Tony would still be here.
Oh, that was good. And and then it's it got me when you think that Nick stopped Mysterio while all that trippy stuff was happening. I think he shot him or something. But even then it's oh nope, that's fake too. And then he makes Peter get hit by a tray, and I'm like,
I know that got me. I was like, oh
damn,
that was fucking crazy.
Gosh darn it! Wow. Yeah, that was crazy. I love that.
It actually almost made me wonder if him getting hit by the train was actually real.
Oh, that's real.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Now we're actually back. Okay.
Yeah, no actors were harmed in the making of this film.
So they say.
Don't forget, I know something messed up. That zombie Iron Man is technically the last shot of Tony Stark in the entire MCU so far.
Oh yeah, that zombie
Iron Man.
That
Iron Man.
technically is the last shot of Tony in the MCU so far.
Dude, that messed me up.
That was crazy.
That really messed me up. Oh my gosh. But
Zombie Iron Man. So are we going to see him in Zombieland too?
Oh gosh.
Zombieland.
Yeah, the trailer came out for that.
Yeah,
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, the trailer's out there, and it looks really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, back to Spider-Man: Far From Home. But so yeah, I thought all that was great. And then I think we skipped a little bit, but I think that's before Spider-Man finds out that Mysterio is evil. I think that's when MJ told Peter that, yeah, I know you're Spider-Man. So, I guess that's fine. I mean, because it seemed like she would know from the beginning. Like, I think even in Homecoming, she kind of knew, but she didn't say anything. And it's like, yeah, apparently that's what happened. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. And, yeah, so MJ and Ned know his secret, and Aunt May knows the secret. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. It's like, because like as Nick said, I'm like, it's kind of refreshing not to have Spider-Man worry about the whole secret identity thing as much. You know, it's like good to have friends and family behind you, which is good.
And plus, it also works in the comics. Like literally, Peter was a CEO of his own industries now. I think we're gone way past secret identities for Peter Parker.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely on board for that. So after he gets hit by a train, I think he goes. He's in the middle of nowhere, whatever country.
Oh, he was in the suite at the village. It's like where are you from? I didn't move for it. What? And it just pops up in the bottom corner. I died at that part.
It's like just give him the phone so I can translate it. It's like okay, and then Happy comes to help him out. I actually really liked Jon Favreau in this movie. I mean, I already like him as Happy. He's really good. But it's like I thought he did a really good job in this movie. And then he gave also one of my favorite scenes of the movie. The thing that I wanted from the first part of the movie is just him talking about the loss of Tony Stark and just dealing with the weight of being the supposed next Iron Man and stuff like that. It's like I just like that whole conversation that Peter has with Happy, just bringing things, back to
he gets the bend.
Mm-hmm. And it's like dealing with the pressure of like I don't feel like I can be the next Iron Man. I can be the next Iron Man, but then Happy's like, no, you're not Iron Man. And it's like that's the whole thing that I wanted, this Spider-Man to not forget. It's like don't try to be the next Iron Man. Be the best Spider-Man, because being Spider-Man is just as important as you be, as an Iron Man, So I'm glad.
Which also I think is to some people. Which also I think that's the movie also talking to like some people like, Peter's following too much of Tony. Tony's being his Uncle Ben. And like, no, he's not that. He's going to be Spider-Man. Like, he's probably going to be the face of the MCU, just like how Iron Man was the face of the MCU. But now this new era is probably going to be Peter. He's probably going to be the sort of face of this era.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
and then it was time to suit up.
Yep. So he makes that red and black suit to.
Don't forget something, Dwayne.
What?
Happy puts on some AC/DC, and Peter goes, "Oh, I love Led Zeppelin."
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was great.
Oh, I love it. That was funny. So it's like he creates a suit with similar holograms that Iron Man used to make his suit. And then you just see the look in Happy's eyes, like, yeah, he's gonna go far. He's next Iron Man. So he makes that red and black suit that I saw in the trailer.
I love that suit.
Yeah, I still don't like it. I still don't like it. Even in the context of the movie, I'm just like, I still don't care for this suit. I don't know, man. It's just maybe I don't know, something about the design.
I mean, literally, that's the ultimate throwback to his first appearance, because his first appearance was a red and black suit. It wasn't red and blue.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. So,
and something else I also recently found out when the holograms of the other suits show up before Peter makes his suit. Those are some comic suits. Those are more comic book suits.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like they had the actual Iron Spider and stuff like that.
And in a Spidey armor.
Yeah, like
which I had thought they were gonna do.
Yeah, I mean they already had like the suit from Infinity War, so I didn't think they were gonna do another one. Oh, speaking of that, remember? Did you guys see the trailer when he was in that spider suit from Infinity War and he was fighting off a bunch of muggers or whatever? That's not,
that was in the movie.
Yeah, that's not in the movie. I'm like, why'd you cut that out?
I was fine with it. I was fine. It didn't end. It didn't take from anything. It was just a funny scene. So I didn't lose any sleep over not being in there.
I mean, yeah, I was okay with it, but I did like that in the trailer, and I wanted to see more of it. Just him using that suit more, like, of course, because I love that suit. But anyway, getting to the final fight, like that. This is in London, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. So okay, so he's projecting the element. Well, did all the elementals just come together and create a huge monster elemental?
That's all the wind one.
Okay, that's all the wind one. So he's projecting him fighting the wind one. I guess that's the final elemental to defeat. And then Spider-Man is creating a plan to disable the holograms and expose Mysterio. And it ends up working, and then there's this huge climactic battle. He used
his Peter Tingle.
Oh yeah, why is it called Spider Tingle? Like come on.
His Peter. I don't think that's going to be what it is for the rest. I think it's just this movie.
Yeah, I hope not, because I hope that's not a thing. It's like Spider Tingle.
No, the Peter Tingle.
Peter. Oh God, that's even worse.
Peter Tingle. Spider Tingle.
That's even worse. Like, come on now. So yeah, I hope they don't stay. But yeah, finally utilizing his spider sense. I'm gonna call it spider sense because that's what it is. Using his spider sense more to figure out which stuff is the drones and the holograms.
That scene was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was really
him
good.
Inside the actual in the hologram fighting the drones. That looked fantastic.
Yeah, that looked really good. And then on the side MJ, Ned, and all the other students trying to escape with Happy. Thought that was done really well, and they get into this like museum with medieval weapons, and then MJ takes like a mace.
The Tower of London.
Oh yeah, and then
which I've been there.
You been there?
I've been there. That pretty much, literally, I was like, yep, I've been there. Yep, there's a beefeater. Yep, I went in there. The crown jewels were right in there.
Oh, lucky you! I want to go to London one day.
That's fantastic. You would love it.
Me too. Road trip.
Let's go. Well, we can't really drive there. But
I mean, you can, but never mind.
You can? Okay, we gotta take out the maps.
Oh! So, there's something I just realized.
Mm.
So, obviously, Peter fights a lot of drones in this movie.
Yeah.
In Spider-Verse, what did Peter B. Parker say one time that happened to him? When Peter B. Parker's talking about his life, he said, got hit in the face by a drone.
Nice. See what you get there. So is this in the same universe as Spider-Verse? Even though there's many different universes in that movie, but anyway, nice little callback there. But so Spider-Man's fighting all the drones. I love that scene. It's really cool. And then he's actually using his web wings, whatever, the web pits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Like I miss the web pits, man. I wish he used them more in the other movies. You don't like the web pits?
They're weird looking.
I mean, yeah, the suits are already weird looking, so it's like you might as well embrace it. I don't know, but I liked how they utilize it in this movie. It's not hanging out the whole time like it is in the comic books. It's just he needs to glide or something.
Yeah, he gets to glide.
So it's like I thought it was cool, and then I just thought that, and then when he actually confronts Mysterio. I thought that was a really intense scene, just like the dialogue exchanges between the two also made it more of an emotional scene. And then it's like, once again, with Mysterio's unpredictability, I had no idea where stuff was going to happen. It's like, is he going to do another illusion? Is he going to Peter's thinking like he's going to get it, but then Mysterio's going to attack him from behind? But no, thanks to his spider senses, he stops him. And then he got shot, right? Mysterio got shot?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I was a bit bummed about that. I didn't want them to kill Mysterio. I wanted to see more from him. So I was a bit disappointed about that. But you never know.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, go ahead. I thought you were going to describe it.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say it. I said, but wait, there's more. We haven't heard the last of him.
Oh, wait.
Wait to the end.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. Okay, never mind. But anyway, so yeah, it's like, yeah, definitely didn't see that coming. I liked how, you know, Peter used the spider sense to stop him and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool.
It's Peter Tingle.
We're not calling it that. I'm not calling it that.
That's what they said in the movie.
I don't care. It's spider sense. It's first the blip and then Peter Tingle. Like sounds like he's aroused or something. Like, God. It's like, hey Zendaya, I don't know about you, but you're making me feel a Peter Tingle, man. God.
Oh yeah, no, there's something someone else recognized that I didn't think of.
What?
When Peter's on the bridge, he makes himself pretty much a hammer-like weapon out of the breeze and uses the sign of the tower bridge as a shield.
Oh.
And then he starts swinging. Doesn't it kind of remind you of a certain super soldier who finally got to use a hammer the past movie?
Captain America. I'm glad that they didn't just have it be homaging Iron Man. I'm glad they did some nods to the other Avengers like Captain America, so I did like that a lot. And then Peter gets the girl. Like MJ and Peter end up together, they kiss, and yeah, happily ever after for them. So I thought that was good. That was nice.
And then we get to the post, and then we finally see Spider-Man swinging around New York City.
Oh yeah, with MJ on. Like yeah, I thought that was funny because she was freaking out the entire
notice
time.
he passed by. Notice he passed by the building that was pretty much the Osborn Manor in the Sam Raimi movies.
Ah, yeah.
He passed by that.
So that was pretty cool. That's the only
Harry
thing I want to
Osborn
see.
is going to be in the MCU, is what you're saying?
Yeah, can we wait like another 5-10 years? Because I don't want to see him.
I don't think that's going to happen for a while.
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do. What I like that the MCU is doing is they're not going straight for the A-list villains. They're going for the smaller villains.
Yeah.
Which is something I love. Like before Homecoming, who could actually care about the Vulture?
Right.
Like not even us comic book fans care that much about Vulture.
Yeah. Even though I liked Vulture, but he is a silly looking character. So yeah, definitely. I appreciate they're going, you know, from the lower tier villains, building their way up. I'm surprised they didn't do any nods to Scorpion and Vulture, you know, because I'm sure they want to set up Sinister Six at some point. So it's like. But I didn't care if it did, because like you didn't need to. But it's like I'm surprised they didn't do anything like that. But that's why I'm kind of disappointed that Mysterio died, because I was like, what if he could be in Sinister Six? You know, I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah, why did he have to die? I was upset.
But who knows? Maybe that's an illusion too. He's still alive, and man, we don't know.
And then we get to the first credit scene.
Okay, yeah. So these credit scenes, bro.
Oh.
Like, I may not say, I don't know if they're like the best ones I've seen, but they're like the most shock factor for sure. Like, really, both of these scenes, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that's what Peter said.
Yeah, like neither of these scenes are filler. Like, they're both like really important. So let's talk about the first credit scene. So the first credit scene is just like adding to the tail end of the movie, like, you know, with Peter swinging in New York with MJ, and then he drops her off like at on the corner somewhere by this projector. So he's about to leave, but then the news comes on, and then guess who comes back to the Spider-Man franchise? J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. I was freaking out.
I screamed in the theater. I was like, oh shit, what?
I was so surprised.
Yeah, I was too. I'm like, you brought him back as J. Jonah Jameson? Oh my god.
And they made him Alex Jones.
I'm not exactly happy about it either. This is like sort of what James Earl Jones in the new Lion King is for me.
Oh no, get out. No way.
Not because J.K. Simmons
What?
isn't great. He is the definitive Jonah. He is amazing. I just wish they did something different.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have the filthy casuals being like, "Wait, is this in the same universe as the Sam Raimi movies?" Like,
And I haven't had that. I've been talking to most casuals. They're like, "Oh, okay." They didn't think of that.
okay, so I hope nobody thinks that, but it's like,
And plus, it's not. It's kind of hard to make this J. Jonah Jameson the same as the Raimi one, because this one is while the same, JJJ. It's pretty much, this one is straight up Alex Jones. It's straight up, a Trump supporter, Alex Jones, Infowars, using the same font as the Infowars logo. It was, oh my god, I was dying.
yeah. So I'm glad. Yeah, it's like one thing I'm actually glad about with J.K. Simmons coming back. It's like they're not trying to do the exact same performance that they did in the Sam Raimi movies. This feels like a different Jonah Jameson. I just said more like Alex Jones. So it's like I'm glad they went a different approach with it, because if he did the exact same performance, I don't know if I would like it as much. So I'm glad about that. But that's not all. That's not all. Apparently, Mysterio had some secret footage ready to reveal to the world that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and then he's framing him for killing him. And then it literally just ends with Peter going, "What the f-?" Sorry, I can't say anything. Emmy's in the room now. But yeah, that literally, my mind was blown.
Revealing his name.
So it's like, what's going to happen with Spider-Man going forward? Like, literally, I'm like, what is going to happen? And then the second post-credit scene, if you didn't think it was shocking enough,
Gosh,
the second credit scene, you thought it was dumb.
That made me angry.
Really?
Yes, the second one.
Wow, okay, so the second post-credit scene, more of a trippy thing. So apparently, Nick Fury and Maria this entire time
were Talos and his wife.
They were the Skrulls from Captain Marvel, and
how dare you tie this into Captain Marvel?
Yeah,
we can all hate Captain Marvel as much as we want. It's part of the MCU. Hating it ain't gonna change this. It ain't gonna change it. So,
I mean, yeah, I was definitely in shock. I'm like, because I was questioning everything up until that point. I'm like, wait, when did you become?
It made
Nick,
sense, because actually, this is what I was talking about, Dwayne. Because why was Fury so willing to trust Beck when we know this is Nick Fury, the most paranoid man in the whole MCU?
True.
And why is he so insistent on Peter?
Yeah.
This is Talos. He doesn't know where the Avengers are, or even who they are. He only knows Captain Marvel. That's why he's so insistent on Peter, because he's like, "You're a superhero. You do this. I have no idea what to do. You do this. Here, go." So
yeah. And then apparently Nick Fury is in a spaceship in a different part of the galaxy with a bunch of other Skrulls. So I don't know what's up with that either. So is the MCU trying to do Secret Invasion?
I think they're going to do Secret Invasion, except it's not going to be, the Skrulls are the villains. It's going to be a different twist on Secret Invasion, just like Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Secret Invasion storyline, honestly. I mean, we'll see what their spin is on it, but it's like, I don't know.
Well, we all know I didn't like Civil War than the comics, but I did enjoy the movie, so I want to see where they go with it.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll be better than this Secret Invasion thing. Will be better than the Civil War movie. But anyway.
That is just you.
Yeah, well, not just me. There's other people.
But no, pretty much I think Talos, he's pretty much an ambassador. It's like somewhat of an ambassador to fill in for Fury, while Fury is overseeing, cosmic level events.
Yeah. So, yeah, it definitely made me.
And also, it even goes back to Age of Ultron. that pretty much Fury has not been Fury. Pretty much this hasn't been Fury for a while. Cause think about it. Remember what he said in Captain Marvel that he despised eating diagonally cut toast?
Yeah.
What was Fury eating in Age of Ultron?
Diagonally
cut toast.
So wait, he could have been a Skrull that since Age of Ultron.
Since Avengers 1.
What's his name the whole time?
Since Avengers 1, when he knew the Avengers were assembled, Fury took his skills to space and left Talos in charge. Which is why Fury is seen eating diagonally cut toast in Age of Ultron, even though he told Carol he despised diagonally cut toast.
Oh my gosh.
All this time, he was a Skrull.
Oh gosh.
Mic drop.
God.
Well,
you make me question everything.
There's some BS. It's so stupid.
Screw Captain Marvel.
Yeah, screw Captain Marvel. That just like left a bad taste in my mouth leaving the theater.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, why do you have to tie it into the movie and tie it into those characters?
It's the MCU. Everything has to tie together.
But why? Why did that have to be Skrulls?
Because that's what they're trying to set up for the next movies.
Next.
But yeah. But I will say, I think this is they did better twist than what they did in Iron Man 3, because this didn't feel like a kick into the groin for me.
And Dwayne.
What?
This all the way went back to literally the start of the whole movie, because first word of dialogue suggests that Fury and Hill were already Skrulls. Because remember, in Captain Marvel, everyone called him Fury. They didn't call him Nick. What was the first thing that Maria Hill said to Fury? Nick. Now you gotta go back and watch it, see?
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Really thought this through. Alright, enough of my mind being melted. So before we get to grades, one question I want to pose to you guys. Do you feel like this is a good endpoint for Phase 3? Or do you think this should have been the beginning of Phase 4?
Phase 4.
I agree. I feel like this should have been the beginning of Phase 4.
I feel like this should have been the beginning of Phase 4 as well, but I understand why they would think this would be like the end of Phase 3. Since it kind of ties in with Endgame a little bit more, instead of like teasing us at like the next phase or something.
I disagree. I'm in the minority. I think this is fine where it should be.
Okay.
Because we already know what Phase 4 is going to be. I feel this would not fit where we now know what Phase 4 is going to be. This fits right where the end of this is pretty much an epilogue to Endgame. We all say Endgame should have been like the end point. No, I don't think so.
Did you not see the credits in Endgame?
Oh yes, I did.
That's like, yeah, you could have stopped right there. That's it. That's nice. Give us a break. No.
Oh no, well, we're not gonna get breaks. We have a break now. We got pretty much. We have a long break from another MCU movie, but I feel this is fine where it is. Because the next MCU movie is going to be, I think, March 2020.
Yeah,
May 2020.
Thank you.
What was it, Black Widow?
Is that the next one?
I think that's the next one.
Oh wow!
It is the next one. It's still completely unnecessary, but whatever.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Black Widow is next.
There you go. Okay.
Then the Eternals.
Yeah, and Shang-Chi. And Thor, Love and Thunder, and...
No, Doctor Strange first.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's the one I'm most excited for.
I am too. I'm really interested in seeing that.
Now, the only thing that'll be concerning, like, because apparently there's going to be some shows on the Disney streaming service that's going to connect to the MCU. I don't know how we're going to talk about them.
We're going to have to get someone's going to have to get a subscription so we can all use it to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get it for myself because I want it, but it's like, I know not everyone's going to get it, so... We'll see.
Yeah, because those have been confirmed. Those are part of Phase 4, so those are canon.
Yeah. So,
Well, screw it. I'm not watching them.
I'll let you guys know how it is.
I'm probably gonna. I have my ways of seeing them, so I'll be good.
Like why Loki, Hawkeye, WandaVision,
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And What If?
What If? Yeah, that one's kind of interesting.
I'm ecstatic for that.
Yeah.
That one seems a little random, to be honest.
It is.
I mean, it is because that's what they were in the comics. They were literally what ifs. That's what it says on the tin.
Yeah. Alright, so overall, I did enjoy this Spider-Man movie. There is some really good moments in the film with Mysterio, and Tom Holland is obviously perfect as Spider-Man. I'll watch him in every Spider-Man movie going forward. He's great. MJ I liked more, liked Ned and the other classmates, liked to see more of him, you know, in high school, dealing with high school stuff, and them traveling was fun. Action sequences were really good. Definitely some mind-melting stuff happening in this movie. A bunch of twists and turns that didn't expect. I still felt like the movie didn't blow me away. There's still some stuff with the humor I thought was too much, and I wish there was just a little bit more emotional closure from Homecoming and Endgame. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. Still up there as one of the better Spider-Man movies for me. So overall, I will give Night Monkey: Far From Home a B+. Ruby.
Okay, so yeah, overall, I do think that this is a good. For me, I think this is a good jumping off point from Endgame, as kind of like a how do I want to put this? It's like the Ant-Man films where it's like smaller scale, but unlike the Ant-Man films, this one actually is devoted to a character that we can actually depend on, as he's kind of teased to be as the new face of the MCU, which I wouldn't really mind.
Till we get X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Until then.
We're going to have to wait a little longer because that's Phase 5.
Yeah. It would have been perfect, too, if it was Phase 4, Fantastic Four.
Nah.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, too.
I think it's too early.
Yeah,
That sounds
fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, continue, Ruby.
But anyway, there were a few moments in the film that did kind of throw me off a little bit, like the scene with the blonde shield chick. That scene with Peter stripping. I thought that scene was good at start, but until the teen walked in, I honestly would have walked out of the theater.
Yeah, that was...
Like, he was an utter waste of my time afterwards. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, you know, Mysterio was really good. I enjoyed the relationship between Peter and MJ. Nick Fury was fine. Ned was cool. So was his girlfriend. I kind of liked their little side chemistry. Yeah, they had a nice little side chemistry in the film. That was nice. But yeah, I'm actually going to give it the same grade as you, Dwayne. I'm giving it a B+.
Cool. Nick.
Always gotta be the minority.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I have the most controversial opinions on the internet.
Because
Civil War hater.
Yep, you're damn right.
Last Jedi hater.
You damn right.
Damn right.
I think I made it very much clear. I love this movie, and I feel this is a good way to end how this saga of the MCU, being that this is the longest phase. Just think, guys, this phase started in 2016 with Civil War. It's now just ending.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
With 2019.
Yeah.
11 movies in Phase 3, by the way.
Wow. 11.
That's like
11 movies.
nearly double the amount of the other ones, because the other ones had 6.
Hey, it didn't even feel like 11.
Yeah. But pretty much, I thought this was great. I left the theater with a big old smile on my face, and I'm really excited to see where they're gonna go from here. So this, honestly, this does not get an A+ because I don't believe in A+, but it's getting a high A, nearly a 99.
Cool. I thought you were gonna get the rare S ranking. I was waiting for it.
Well, it's not an S. It's not an S.
Okay.
S goes to the top of the top. I had some issues with it, but it gets a high A.
All right, Captain.
I'm also going to give it a B+.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and it had, a lot of interesting action sequences and stuff we haven't seen in Spider-Man movie before. And, Mysterio was fantastic. And I really enjoyed it. So.
Cool. Well, that's our thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment below. Let me know. So, I guess we'll be taking a break from Marvel movies for a minute, because next one, don't come out till May next year. I guess the next one we'll be talking about is Black Widow. Does any of the shows on the streaming service come out before that?
I don't think so.
Black Widow is the catalyst. I'm looking. Yeah, Falcon, WandaVision, Loki, and everything. Well, let's see. January, February, March, April, May, June. Nope, Black Widow first.
Okay.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is August.
Okay, so I'm not gonna make any guarantees, but we'll definitely talk about the movies that are released. As far as the shows on the Disney Plus, we'll see how it goes. We'll see which one of us actually watches it. I might want to cover them, just so I want to see how the quality is. But if there's anything significant that impacts the movies, we'll talk about them. But I'm not making a guarantee we'll cover the shows, but we'll talk about the movies when they come out. So thank you guys as always for watching. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and please hit the bell on the road to 50 subscribers. So please, let's hit that goal. I just need 2 more subscribers. Come on, I know y'all are out there. Well, anyway, thank you as always for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.